All right, I'm Mike Morano here for DamonWildcats.com and happy to be joined today by our head men's volleyball coach, Don Gleason. Coach, you guys are one of only two remaining undefeated teams in the country for NCAA Division I and II men's volleyball. So what's it feel like to be on top of that mountain right now?
Yeah, just ask fans not to do any digging into that, look into any of the details. So the schedule has been pretty local, right? And it's a lot of D3 teams that we've been playing in the New York area. But we said we're going to take advantage of the schedule we could put together. And, I think part of that is winning the games you're supposed to. And the guys have done a good job of that. So we've been taking advantage of those reps.
Yeah, so it's 8 up and 8 down, 9 technically if you include there's an exhibition game in there against Nazareth. You've only been pushed to 5 sets twice, once by St. John Fisher and once by Nazareth in that exhibition. You completed the sweep of St. John Fisher here last week, and that's a program, yes, Division III, but I think as you told me back after the first one, a national championship quality Division III team.
Yeah, I think right now they're ranked number 6 for Division III volleyball. I could have that wrong, but it's somewhere around there, certainly in the top 10. And I think what was interesting in those 5 setters was we would kind of lose a close one and then handle the next set pretty handily. I think the 2 fifth sets were like 15-8 and 15-6. And I think it was just kind of a good thing for us to go through so we could see some things that we need to be working on, which is, that late game, close game execution where, we were just kind of dropping some close ones. And I think that's kind of the next step in our growth as a team and just maturing in those moments.
Tell me about the development of some of your guys. Who's really stood out to you, both offensively and defensively?
Yeah, so both of our middles right now, Henry Moffitt and Jake Cousins, have taken some big steps since last year. They both jump well, they both can hit the ball, but they're just starting to understand the game at a higher level and how to score. It's been really cool to see their development this year. And then, someone who maybe doesn't quite show up in the stat sheet as much, but Parker Wade has shown awesome growth since last year. He kind of came in last year bright-eyed to what college volleyball was all about and what it took to be successful. And, seeing his growth from last year to this year, just how much calmer he looks on the court, how much, faster he's seeing the game. It's been really cool to see his growth as well.
You went right where I thought you were going to go with all 3 of those guys. And I wonder if you might go into a little bit more detail on Henry a little bit. Henry is from Australia, and I'm sure people probably don't know. He had to attend school here remotely in the fall because his country basically wouldn't let him come back to America. How has he been able to elevate his game, even though he basically missed all of your fall practice sessions?
That was the great unknown coming into the spring season. We had everybody else and, we had limited training through the fall, but at least we had those guys in the gym, but not knowing what we were going to get back with Henry coming into the spring, he's done nothing but impress. The first few weeks he kind of had to get back into a rhythm, and we had kind of added some complexity to what we were doing on the court because we were ready this year. So he kind of had to learn all of that, but he's an extremely smart kid, and he was able to wrap his head around what we were trying to do really fast. And it was really cool to see his growth. And he was able to get some touches while he was in Australia. He was able to get on the court and play a bit, so he wasn't coming back totally rusty. But yeah, I've been really proud of his growth this year.
One of the things you guys have been doing a really good job of is serving. leading the country right now in service aces per set. How much of an advantage is that going in, knowing you've got multiple guys that can get you a point just off of their serve?
Yeah, that's it's a huge X factor, right? If both teams are playing pretty pretty evenly throughout the match, but you can steal a few points from the end line, that can be the difference in a match. And going into this weekend, we're going to play the most physical team we see all year in St. Francis Brooklyn, and it'll be interesting to see how our serving looks against them. And they haven't played much this year, so they're not going to be too well versed in anybody serving besides their own in their practice gym. But I'm interested to see how that test goes for us.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up St. Francis Brooklyn, because we'll end on that a little bit. And you mentioned it. They're the lone Division I team on your schedule this year. So that'll certainly present its challenges. Young program, just like yours. They're in, you guys are in your third year. St. Francis Brooklyn in just its second year. But I wonder if you might, for people at home that don't know what goes into this will be your longest trip of the year. What are some of the things that you guys have to deal with, not even volleyball related, just to play two matches like this on the road?
Yeah, I mean, this is like all the stuff that you maybe don't quite realize you're signing up for as a coach. I think younger coaches think, oh, I'm going to be in the gym all day and just coach. But the travel planning, the meal planning, everything like that behind the scenes, plus adding all the COVID restrictions on top of that this year presents a new challenge. But we're just looking forward to having it feel like a regular season, where we get to hop on the bus, we get to stay overnight, we get to throw some DVDs in and watch as we're traveling, and the guys are really excited about it and looking forward to it. So it's certainly all worth kind of navigating everything.
So the two matches against St. Francis Brooklyn, Friday 4:30, Saturday at 1:00. Both of those matches available via live stream on the NEC Front Row streaming network. I don't want to make you jump too far ahead. Well, I guess I'm going to ask you to jump ahead. What would it mean for you in this crazy year that we've all lived through to finish the year undefeated at 10-0?
For me, I suppose it wouldn't mean too much, honestly. For the guys, I think they would, really like that feather in the cap. It would be pretty cool. But the coolest thing for us is the way we get to end this year. St. Francis Brooklyn as that last team we're playing. Like I said, we get to travel, stay overnight, play what should be the best team on our schedule as our kind of finale to the year. So it would be really fun for the guys if all the pieces came together, and just like I said, the complexity that we've been adding to our systems. If everything just kind of clicked for us for our final weekend, it would be really cool to see.
All right. Well, we will be following from here, and we wish you guys safe travels and some good luck in those matches this weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.